properly.
Yeah, and let's talk about the U.S. more, because I think we talked about this a couple of months ago when we went to the halal spot, and you were like, how the U.S. in a way it's kind of like a fault for all this Latin American countries being underdeveloped.
Yeah, because you mentioned imperialism for a bit, and that's something like there's an account on Instagram that my friend posts a lot about, and they address imperialism a lot. It basically seems like it's anti-U.S., but it's anti-imperialism, which the U.S. is guilty of.
It doesn't matter, but I think U.S. is if not the biggest imperialist in the world right now.
Throughout Latin American history, like a lot of people say, like, why is Latin America the way it is? Like, literally, the systems just don't work. There's corruption, blah blah blah, and it's because a long time ago the U.S. came into those countries, and there's this one video where they're saying like Latin America is rich. We have there was gold, there's coffee, there's bananas, there's whatever. But then the US said, oh, I like it too. They exploited all of that. They took it all. Like the United Fruit Company, that was born from the US. And they came to Guatemala and other countries and they took it all. And that's why you guys have bananas, avocados, whatever exotic fruit that you have right now.
It's probably from those countries. Yeah.
It's from us. And sure, it's good to have trade. It's good to have income like that, but the way it was handled is just the U.S. exploited the countries.
Yeah,
they exploited the countries, and this is just like the trade aspect. Then when you think about coups, like there's so many coups throughout Latin American history,
and Caribbean too. Like this one, Haiti has a power.
And if you really read into it, lots of those coups, where did the weapons come from? The U.S. gave those weapons.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because the U.S., remember during the Cold War and the U.S. anti-communism, they suspected that there was going to be communism in some parts of Latin America. So they did whatever they could in their power to stop that. Whenever there was a dictator in power, president, whatever you want to call him, that they thought would be a threat, they would gather the rebels, guerrillas, whatever. They would give all the weapons, and then boom, coup, execution, whatever. Like the U.S., we're like the U.S.'s puppets, you know?
Yeah, a lot of countries are the puppets, and this is from history. Like France had its own. China, I think, they're doing their own thing in Africa right now. We're not really sure. But a lot of people saying they trust China over the U.S., which I'm not surprised about because of the history of the U.S. and stuff. And the thing is, you could be a patriotic person in the United States. Like, honestly, like I said, I appreciate the United States, but you have to acknowledge your country is making the world fucked up in some aspects,
Yes, that's why education is so important.
Yeah, you have to know that.
Know your history.
Yeah, United States, they topple dictators and then they leave power vacuums. You can see this in Libya. You can see this, I think, in Iraq now. Mm-hmm. And it's if you wanna play world police, you should have plans to actually make the world a better place, because there are people now who, because of the years, they have no homes and stuff like that. When you have a rebel and a coup and they take to who's pro-socialist and pro-communism. And the only things I don't want to say, I know I just switched, but is it your business if this other government is socialist and stuff, communist? You should take care of what's at home. We have homeless people at home. We have so much inequality, as you said, keeps coming up in this podcast. And it's you should be focusing on you.
Well, they were protecting themselves by doing that. For example, both world wars, they never came to America.
Yeah.
The U.S. made sure of that.
Yeah.
I mean, America, the continent, the whole continent. So the U.S. is doing that. They're protecting themselves by protecting other countries from evil. So communism. That was the situation before. So yeah, that's why we think America, you have no business in going into other countries to do whatever. However, today the US is helping. Why? They're looking to fix some of the problems that they created.
Yeah.
That's what they're doing now, at least. Sometimes, even Kamala Harris, she went to Guatemala to investigate on corruption. And hopefully she actually does something, because I hope she's not trying to create some new program, whatever. I don't fully trust it, but my mom was talking about it. My mom sounded super happy about it.
Yeah.
I don't know, but the U.S. today is trying to fix some of those problems. And that's why we have those debates between very patriotic Americans who think America's so great, we save everyone from evil, but that's at what cost?
There's some times where the United States actually did good. I think they gave aid to Western Europe after World War II.
Yeah, they did that, but at what cost? Look at Korea, North and South Korea. That happened because the U.S. and Russia were fighting. And what's the cost to get involved in other people's businesses so that you're fixing things.
Yeah.
Because you do leave a lot of problems behind and you don't fix them.
Yeah.
Which is why we have immigration right now.
Yeah.
And then when you're trying to push those people out and keep America American, shame on you, because you created the problems that they're facing right now, and that's why they're running away. And you portrayed yourself as this great country, land of the free, whatever. And that's why we're coming to you. We're coming to you for help because you're the best country. That's what you're telling us. But then you're telling us, no, go back to your home. We'll help your home. But,
yeah, that's true.
No.
Yeah, so you shouldn't you shouldn't be like pissed when there's immigrants in this country because, you know. But the America, your country caused it. But at the same time, like at one point in time, like our country needs to take like responsibility. Like, you know what, America. There's some countries where America is gone, no influence, still shit.
Yeah,
so it's
they're like, no, we'll do everything our own.
Yeah, but I see this country needs to start like taking leadership. Like this is our country, but unfortunately the systems are in place, the leaders are in place, and they
El Salvador's trying to do that now.
Yeah, with his Nayib, right? President, I forgot his name.
I forgot his name.
Yeah, President Nayib.
He's very young.
Yeah, he's a young guy, and it's hard because change takes a lot of time and energy and a lot of resources. People have to be involved. The leaders. A lot of people say, "Oh, leaders," but people, you guys have to be involved too in the change.
Yeah.
And it's everybody that has to be involved in change, in the most little ways as possible.